Okay, so you know how sometimes in sports you see like a result that just makes you go, wait a second, what just happened?
Yeah.
Well, we've got one of those to dive into today.
Absolutely.
A result that sent shockwaves through the tennis world.
We are talking about the 2025 Miami Open, and specifically Alexandra Eala, a player ranked 140th in the world, defeating the world number 2, Iga Swiatek.
5-time Grand Slam champion Iga Swiatek.
It's the kind of result that makes you do a double take.
Yeah, it really does. And to make sure we all understand just how massive this upset is and what it means not only for Eala's career, but also for the Philippines and for tennis as a whole.
Right.
We've gathered a whole bunch of sources. We've got news reports from the tournament itself. We've got expert analysis from the tennis world.
Yeah.
And of course, we've dug deep into Eala's journey to this point. So as we go along, think of this as more than just a recap.
Right.
It's an anatomy of an upset.
I like that.
Why it matters so much. And a glimpse into what might be a new era of talent in women's tennis.
It's that element of the unexpected that I think really draws us in.
Right.
You know, we want to know what makes these upsets happen. How does an underdog topple a giant? And what does it tell us about the athletes themselves?
So let's set the stage. Miami Open quarterfinals.
Okay.
We've got Swiatek, a name that's practically synonymous with winning in women's tennis.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the net, we've got Eala, who, I'll be honest, a lot of casual fans probably hadn't heard of before this tournament.
That's probably fair to say.
And then, boom, Ollie wins in straight sets, 6-2, 7-5.
It's remarkable.
It really is. And this wasn't a fluke. You know, she didn't just get lucky one time.
No, not at all.
This was a statement.
This was a whole tournament of incredible wins.
Exactly.
Because before facing Swiatek, Eala had already taken down 2 other Grand Slam champions.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Madison Keys and Jelena Ostopenko.
So that's 3 wins in a row against major title holders.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost unheard of, especially for a player outside the top 100.
Yeah, and it gets even crazier when you start to look at the match stats against Swiatek.
Okay, hit me with them.
So Eala broke Swiatek's serve 8 times in the match.
8 times?
Against a player who is known for her serve.
That's insane. I mean, breaking serve once is a big deal.
Totally. Yeah, it means winning a game when your opponent is serving, which is supposed to be harder.
Right.
But to do it 8 times against someone like Swiatek is a sign of just incredible dominance.
Yeah, you're not just getting lucky at that point.
No, you're putting immense pressure on your opponent and you're clearly executing your game plan.
And then when you look at the unforced errors.
Yes, a key stat in tennis.
So for our listeners who maybe aren't as familiar with the game.
Sure.
Unforced errors are basically mistakes that a player makes that aren't directly caused by their opponent's shot.
Right, so it's you beating yourself, essentially.
Exactly. And Swiatek, usually known for her consistency, had a whopping 32 unforced errors in that match.
A lot.
Compared to just 12 for Eala.
Yeah, I told you a lot right there.
Right? Eala was playing clean and composed tennis.
And probably forcing those mistakes from Swiatek as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't a completely smooth ride for Eala. She was down 4-2 in the second set. But even then, she didn't panic.
Not at all.
She kept her cool, fought back, and won the set 7-5.
To come back from a deficit like that against Swiatek,
Yeah.
it shows remarkable mental toughness and composure.
And the entire match only took 1 hour and 39 minutes.
So efficient.
Yeah, like laser focus.
In and out.
So we've established that this was a huge upset, right? But why does it really matter? What's the bigger picture?
Well, for Philippine tennis, this is a watershed moment.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Eala is the first player from the Philippines to reach the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event.
That's incredible. A country with such a passionate sports culture now has a player in the Final Four of one of the biggest tournaments in the world.
And it's only going to inspire more young athletes in the Philippines.
Absolutely.
And then for Eala's career, the impact is immediate.
Right. She was ranked 140th before the tournament.
Correct. And now with this run, she's projected to jump into the top 100.
Wow, that's massive.
It's a huge leap forward.
What does that mean for her practically?
Well, it means direct entry into bigger tournaments.
Okay.
Potentially higher seedings, and competing against the very best week in and week out.
And as we're recording this, she's still got a semifinal match against Jessica Pegula.
Right.
So regardless of the outcome of that match,
This tournament has been a breakout performance.
she's arrived.
She's proven she can beat the best players in the world.
Yeah, it's not just potential anymore.
No, it's results.
And for our listeners who are always looking for those stories of new talent breaking through
Right.
and challenging the established order,
Those underdog stories.
this is it.
Yeah, this is a prime example.
So who is Alexandra Eala? What's her story?
Well, let's dive into her background a little bit.
Okay.
Alexandra Maniego Eala, born in Quezon City, Philippines back in 2005.
Okay, so still incredibly young.
Yeah, only 19.
And from a young age, she was identified as a top talent in Philippine tennis.
Right. And her results in the junior Grand Slam circuit speak for themselves.
Let's hear about those.
So she won the 2022 U.S. Open singles title,
Wow.
becoming the first Filipino player to win a junior Grand Slam singles title.
Historic.
It really is.
And her junior success wasn't just in singles.
Right. She also won the 2020 Australian Open doubles title.
Okay.
And the 2021 French Open doubles title.
So across the board success.
And in October 2020, she reached a peak junior ranking of number 2 in the world.
Number 2 in the world.
So consistently competing with and beating the best young players globally.
Yeah, you don't get to that level by accident.
It takes dedication, hard work, and of course, raw talent.
And she transitioned to the pro circuit fairly quickly, turning pro in March of 2020.
Yep.
And since then, she's been building her resume, winning 5 ITF singles titles and 3 ITF doubles titles.
Right. The ITF tournaments are like the stepping stone to the main WTA tour.
Right. So you're getting ranking points.
Exactly.
And her highest WTA singles ranking before this Miami run was 134.
Not bad at all.
And that was achieved just earlier this year.
And she also made her main draw debut back in 2021 at the Winners Open in Romania.
So she's been getting valuable experience on the big stage for a few years now.
Yep. And even before Miami, she had already made history in Philippine tennis.
How so?
Well, she's the highest-ranked Filipina singles player in WTA history.
Okay.
Surpassing the previous record held for a long time.
So she was already breaking barriers before this tournament even started.
Absolutely. And she's also represented the Philippines in international competition, winning bronze medals at both the Southeast Asian Games and the Asian Games.
A true competitor.
Absolutely committed to representing her country.
And where has she been training all these years?
Well, a key part of her development has been at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain.
Wow, the Rafa Nadal Academy.
Yeah, she's been training there on a scholarship.
That's incredible access to world-class coaching facilities.
Sparring partners, it's like a tennis stream factory.
Right. And speaking of family, her mom was a CA Games medalist in swimming. Okay. And her brother plays college tennis in the U.S.
So athletics clearly runs in the family.
Yeah, a very supportive and understanding environment, I'm sure.
And that connection to the Rafa Nadal Academy, I think, is really fascinating.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, not only is it top-notch coaching in terms of technique and strategy, but you're also immersed in this culture of hard work and mental toughness.
The Rafa Nadal way.
Exactly, which clearly seems to be paying off for Eala.
So let's break down the Swiatek match a bit more.
Yeah.
What were the keys to Eala's success?
Well, from the analysis I've seen, her aggressive return of serve was crucial.
Okay.
Especially early on, she broke Swiatek 4 times in the first set.
Wow. So right out of the gate, putting the pressure on.
Exactly. Grabbing the momentum early and forcing Swiatek to play from behind.
Tennis is such a mental game.
Absolutely. So getting that early lead can be a huge psychological advantage.
And it wasn't just aggression, it was also composure. Being down 4-2 in the second set could have rattled a lot of players.
For sure, especially against someone like Swiatek.
But Eala stayed calm.
She dug deep.
And found a way to win that set.
Mental toughness for days.
Seriously, and we talked about those unforced errors earlier.
Right. Eala had so few compared to Swiatek.
12-32.
And that's not just luck.
Right.
That's discipline. That's consistency. That's making your opponent beat you.
Smart tennis.
Very smart.
And it sounds like she also played with a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Going for her shots, hitting winners, not letting Swiatek dictate the rallies.
Like she had nothing to lose.
Exactly. And that kind of fearlessness can be incredibly disruptive against a top player.
And it all points to a level of tactical maturity that's really impressive for a 19-year-old.
Right. It's not just talent. It's strategy. It's execution.
It's the whole package.
It really is.
And this victory fits into a larger pattern of success for Eala.
Absolutely.
Let's tick off some of those career highlights.
Okay, so we've got the Junior Grand Slam singles title at the 2022 U.S. Open.
Right. The historic achievement.
And then right here in Miami, she becomes the first Filipino in the Open era to beat a top 10 player with that win over Madison Keys.
Wow.
And the first player representing the Philippines to defeat a top 30 player since at least 1975 with that win over Ostopenko.
Breaking barriers left and right.
And earlier this year, she reached a career high ranking of 134.
Right now, projected to go even higher.
And on top of that, 2 Junior Grand Slam doubles titles,
Okay.
5 ITF singles titles, 3 ITF doubles titles, 2 bronze medals at the Asian Games.
It's a remarkable resume for someone so young.
It really is. And it shows that this Miami Open success is not a fluke.
Right.
It's the culmination of years of dedication, hard work.
Constant improvement.
Exactly.
And it makes you think about that big decision that young athletes like Eala have to make.
You mean the decision to go all in on a professional career?
Yeah, it's a huge commitment.
For sure. And not just for the athlete, but for their family as well.
Right, there are sacrifices involved.
Absolutely. And it takes a ton of dedication and resilience.
So to all our listeners out there who are chasing their own dreams, remember that behind these incredible achievements, there's always that decision point.
That leap of faith.
That willingness to go all in.
It's inspiring.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Alexandra Eala's incredible Miami Open.
Let's recap the key takeaways.
A historic upset.
A player ranked outside the top 100 taking down the world number 2.
An impressive background of junior success and steady progress on the Pro Tour.
A display of tactical brilliance and mental toughness against Swiatek.
And a significant milestone in a career that already boasts a long list of achievements.
And, of course, a moment of immense pride for the Philippines.
This win has the potential to change Eala's career trajectory.
Absolutely.
And it's going to inspire a new generation of tennis players in the Philippines and beyond.
And here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
What does Eala's rise and these recent upsets tell us about the state of women's tennis?
Interesting question.
Are we seeing a shift where emerging talents are more frequently challenging the established order?
It certainly feels that way.
And it makes you think about the dedication, the strategy, and maybe even the courage to make those big decisions
that lead to these kinds of breakthroughs.
It's exciting to see what the future holds.
Yeah.